Welcome back to Entertainment Talk. Today I want to go through 20 different TV shows that have either finished or are going to be finished soon, so that there's no risk of these shows being cancelled or whatever, or they've already got endings that I at least think are good, at least most of these. I was going to do this actually before the whole coronavirus thing. There's obviously a lot of suggestions at the moment of like, hey, if you're isolating yourself or if you are stuck at home or whatever the case may be, and you'd like some suggestions of things to watch. So I was going to do this a little while ago, but I've just got the time today to do this. So I've got 20 shows listed. I'm going to go through them. All of these have either, like I said, finished or have got final seasons, so they're going to be finished either this year or next year, depending on the TV show. I know where most of these TV shows are as well, so where you can actually go and watch them. And of course you can always buy DVDs or Blu-rays or whatever the case may be if they're not on particular streaming services, because you might also live in a different country which might have different streaming rights and all that sort of stuff. So number one goes without saying, Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul and El Camino. Of course, that's the Breaking Bad package. Better Call Saul is currently airing, of course, for its fifth season, and we are currently also covering that fifth season. El Camino, of course, which was the film last year, which came out. If you're in the UK, you can watch all of this on Netflix. All of Breaking Bad is on there. Better Call Saul is going on weekly on Tuesdays, and El Camino, a Breaking Bad film, is actually on Netflix everywhere, isn't it? I think it was on AMC at one point, but if you've got Netflix in the UK, at least you can watch that. I'm not sure about the US, but they're of course all AMC things. So there's that show, and yes, Better Call Saul's sixth and final season is supposed to be coming out next year, and the final season has been ordered. So that's a recommendation. Another Netflix show. These aren't all Netflix shows, but we're just starting off with a few of them. BoJack Horseman had its final part of season 6 this year. I really liked how it ended. You thought they were maybe going one way, but they went another, that sort of thing. Obviously won't spoil anything for any of these shows in here, but yeah, pretty happy with it in the end. It does deal with a lot of hard-hitting topics, so if you're maybe not in the mood for that in terms of this situation we're all in and we all want to feel a bit happier, it does have some heartwarming moments, but it does also deal with a lot of dark themes, so possibly leave that one until you're in the mood for that kind of thing. I don't know, that's just my suggestion. That's of course a Netflix original, so Netflix UK and US. Only Fools and Horses, which unfortunately isn't on the BBC iPlayer, at least at the moment. They might add it randomly or whatever. It currently is on Now TV actually in the UK, if you want to watch it on there. And for the US, it might be on the BritBox thing. I honestly don't know what's on BritBox, but for a thing that's called BritBox, which is, for British TV shows, it should probably be on there. It might be if you're in the US or if you're in the UK and you want to buy that or whatever the situation. So yeah, that's possibly an option, but it might not be on there. But it's last time I watched it, it was on Now TV or Sky. In the UK, so that's there as of course as well, finished a long time ago, but that's that show. Number 5 is going to be Silicon Valley, of course HBO and Sky Atlantic. I don't know if it's on Now TV or Sky at the moment, but they like to add box sets and remove them, so it might be added at some particular time, I'm not sure. But if you of course have a HBO Go Now or cable subscription, HBO Go or HBO Now is what I meant to say, or a cable subscription which includes HBO, I'm assuming it will be on there, so there's that. I don't know 100% if it is, but I'm pretty sure it is on there. Silicon Valley, I wasn't a particular fan of the ending, but I still wanted to put it on here because the journey is really, really great. Really like a lot of the characters, and you might have a different opinion on me as the ending. I know David does, at least, doesn't he? He did say that he disagrees with me that the ending isn't. I disliked the ending, but it's still a show I could definitely recommend, so that's why I still put it on this list. So Unbelievable is number 6. Unbelievable is a mini-series, so it's already one and done, 8 episodes finished. The best TV show of last year, in my opinion. Stars Merritt Weaver and Toni Collette and Caitlin Denver, the 3 sort of main characters. All of them do a really, really great job acting wise, but I do think that Merritt Weaver still stands out. That's just my opinion. But yes, 8 episodes, 8 hours each. It is quite a hard hitting thing. It's based on sexual assault and stuff like that, so if you're not in the mood for, again, the BoJack Horseman type of thing, if you're not in the mood for a hard hitting kind of TV show, maybe watch it later, but it's definitely another recommendation. That's on Netflix in the UK and the US as well. The Office UK and US. I know that's two shows, but it's different versions of two shows. Of course, one's got Michael Scott and one's got David Brent. Is it Brent? David Brent? Yeah, David Brent, who's played by Ricky Gervais, and of course Steve Carell, who plays Michael on the show. It is all available, I'm pretty sure, on Netflix in the UK. The UK version's on there. The US version isn't on Netflix. I think the US version is on Amazon Prime though in the UK, if you want to watch that. That is an NBC show in the US. I don't know if it'll be on there. Maybe it'll be on Hulu or Amazon Prime in the US. The UK version, again, could be on BritBox. I'm not sure. That's, again, what it's supposed to be for, but I'm not 100% sure what's on the BritBox for the UK. But if you're in the UK and you have Amazon Prime and Netflix, you should be able to find both of these shows, and they're all finished as well, of course. There is, of course, the I think it's called Brent Life on the Road or something. It was like a little El Camino style addition to the UK version of The Office, which is basically a David Brent kind of story. Takes place after the events of The Office UK, and that's a nice little ending kind of piece as well. Number 8. These aren't like rankings, by the way. This is just 20 shows, and I'm just going from 1 to 20. So this isn't like a 20 best shows to watch. This is just 20 shows to watch. So I know I'm going from 1 to 20, but that's just how I'm listing them. Love on Netflix. 3 seasons finished. Got Gillian Jacobs and Paul. I've forgotten his surname. Not Paul Rudd. Not him. Paul Rust, something like that is his name, but Gillian Jacobs is in the series. She was from Community, and she's been in some other stuff as well. In my opinion, the best romantic comedy thing I've seen. Not that I really look for that type of genre, but I think it was great. It ended really, really well, and I'm really happy with that. And yes, that's definitely a feel-good show if you want to watch that as well. Did I put... Oh, I've skipped one by accident. I wondered where The Good Place was on this list. Yeah, I put The Good Place in between Silicon Valley and Only Fools and Horses. I can't believe I've skipped over that. But yes, number 4, which I'd somehow skipped past, is The Good Place, which is on NBC in the US and is all on Netflix in the UK. All finished. We've got coverage of seasons 3 and 4 and a series wrap-up as well, which finished earlier this year. But yeah, really, really great show. That is a feel-good show, like I've said before on different occasions. That show got me through a tough time when I was watching seasons 1 and 2. Bit of a different situation with season 3 and 4. Wasn't quite the same scenario, if you will, but definitely a great show. Really happy with how it ended. Some people might disagree with how it ended, with what happened, but I still think it's a great show, and I definitely recommend it. And that is a feel-good show. So The Good Place. Let's move back to, yes, number 8, Love on Netflix. It's a Netflix original. Gillian Jacobs, like I said, and Paul are in that. Really great ending. Really liked what they did there. Number 9 is going to be Arrow, which is of course a CW and Sky One show. Sky One in the UK and the CW in the US. I think that they don't have the old episodes on the CW because they expire or whatever. Those should be on Netflix in the US as far as I know. They might also be on Amazon Prime. If you're in the UK, they don't have the current episodes on Sky One either. That's where the new episodes are going to be airing when the show comes back. But if you want to watch the previous seasons, I'm pretty sure I've seen them floating around on Amazon Prime in the UK. So if you want to watch Arrow, it is also now finished. There is a possible Green Arrow and the Canary spin-off in the works, but that hasn't actually been ordered to series yet. But the show itself is actually finished. So yeah, that's one I definitely recommend. Number 10 is going to be Lost. I was happy with how it ended. A lot of people won't be. A lot of people would be confused perhaps by my recommendation of that, but I love Lost. I think it's one of the best shows I've seen. I was happy with the ending. You might not be. Of course, you have to watch it to find out what it is. But one of the more popular shows certainly on this list. So number 10 is going to be Lost. Today's sponsor is Kualu. If you'd like to get started with a domain name and a website today, just click on the link in the show notes and that will take you over to Kualu to get started. They also have a live support chat system that you can use, which is in the bottom right hand corner. So get started with a new website and domain name today with Kualu. Hey everybody, if you would like to get the ad-free versions of all of our podcasts and support Entertainment Talk along the way, all you need to do is head over to patreon.com/entertainment talk. Sign up either as a creator or as a Patreon. There's no difference there. That's just the option for either becoming a creator now or just staying as a patron for the moment. And then all you need to do is support us at the $1 level tier. That will get you access to all of the ad-free podcasts that we've done in the past, and get you access to all the ad-free podcasts in that month as well. So it's a great way to support us on Entertainment Talk and to get rid of the ads and get your ad-free podcasts. You can also become a patron at the $3 level tier. That gets you access to ad-free podcasts and allows you to redeem a review of a TV show or a film of entirely your choice. That's one per month for either a TV show or a film review, which is at the $3 level tier. As always, thank you very much for listening. Back to the show. Number 11 is going to be Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., which airs on E4. That did used to be on a different channel, but it doesn't matter. Newer seasons have been on E4, and that's of course an ABC show owned by Disney. In the US, it's got a final season airing summer this year. I've heard a possibility that season could be released early. That hasn't been confirmed. It's just been kind of talked about. But yeah, it's a really great season. I think the 7th season is the next one, which is going to be airing this year. But that's a feel-good kind of show. There is some dark stuff in there, but it's mostly a feel-good, kind of TV show, Marvel sort of spin-off. It's not it's loosely connected to the MCU, but you don't have to have seen like all the films to know what's going on and that sort of thing. There's references to the MCU and stuff, but nothing too important, I wouldn't say. But that, I don't know where that would be in the UK, because it's not on E4 at the moment. Again, possibly another one that's floating around on Amazon, because they have a lot of box sets and stuff. It's not on Netflix. I can't remember if it's going to be on Disney Plus in the UK, but that's another one to look at as well. But ABC, if it's on ABC in the US, that's where it's usually aired. It might again be on Hulu or Amazon or something like that. So that's Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Number 12 is going to be The 100. It's got a final season this year, and it's also got a prequel spin-off called Carmageddon, I think it's going to be called. I might have that wrong, but the show's going to be finishing this year. It airs on E4 in the UK. It's also, I think the box sets for that are on Amazon Prime in the UK. It's a CW show in the US. I don't think the old episodes are on there, but again, could be on Amazon or Hulu or something like that. So that's the 100. Number 13, Lost in Space, has got a final season happening next year. I haven't seen season 2 yet. I still need to go and watch that, but that's a feel-good, family-friendly kind of show as well. Again, some dark-ish stuff that happens. I haven't seen season 2, so I can't speak to that, but it's mostly a family-friendly TV show that you can watch, I would say. So go and check out Lost in Space. That's on Netflix, by the way, final season next year. Number 14, Misfits, which had a final season finished a while ago. I can't remember when that was. It's all on All4 in the UK, which is free, like I've reviewed recently with All4. But Misfits is a good one. I have no idea, to be honest, where that aired in the US. Again, it could be on Amazon floating around somewhere, possibly BritBox, because it's another British show. But that was really good. That is a darker show, but it has some funny moments, so judge from that what you will. But yeah, Misfits is another good one. Number 15, The Leftovers. That's not necessarily a good one to recommend for a happy show, but it ends really well. Damon Lindelof doing another really great show. It's on HBO and Sky Atlantic. Don't think it's on Sky Atlantic at the moment, but it should be on HBO still, because it's a HBO original, so go and check out The Leftovers. Number 16, New Girl. I know that's on Amazon Prime. I saw it recently in the UK. I think that was on NBC. I don't think it was on CBS or some other network. No, it was on Fox. It was on Fox in the US, so it could still be on there. I'm not sure. Again, could be Hulu or Amazon. You might find box sets floating around. That's a feel-good show, certainly. There is some dark stuff that happens now and again, but it's mostly a feel-good show, and I quite enjoyed that. That ended last year, the year before, I think. But that was a pretty good one to go and watch. Atypical, definitely a feel-good show. That's a Netflix original. That's got a 3rd and final season coming. I think it's next year, actually, the final season of Atypical. But that's a really good show and a really kind of heartwarming, loads of heartwarming moments in Atypical for its seasons. Number 18 is Fleabag, of course, Phoebe Waller-Bridge. Now, this is a little bit different because there's been talks of a 3rd season, but at the moment there's nothing planned, and the ending of season 2 is intended to be an ending. So make of that what you will. I'm not sure if there's going to be a third season. I think Amazon, who recently signed Phoebe Waller-Bridge for a lot of money, have been urging or asking her to do a third season because of course the show was very, very popular and very, very good. That's on BBC iPlayer in the UK, and it is on Amazon on the US and on the UK as well. So if you haven't got the BBC iPlayer or whatever, and you have got Amazon Prime, so lots of these are on Amazon and Netflix for their box sets. Of course, these shows are finished or finishing. So yeah, check it out on Amazon or on BBC iPlayer. Is it on Netflix in the UK? No, I don't think it's on Netflix in the UK. So check that out on BBC. If the BBC still has it on there, they should do for the UK. Yeah, 2 seasons, 6 episodes, really good stuff. 19, The Big Bang Theory. Some people are going to disagree with that, whatever. I'm going to talk in a minute the shows that I'm not quite including for various different reasons as well. But yeah, number 19, The Big Bang Theory had 12 seasons. I was very happy with how it ended. I was really, really happy with that. Of course, Young Sheldon is running at the moment and will probably get a final season. It's on their 3rd season, so it'll probably be around for a while, but I'm imagining that's a show that's CBS, isn't it? Yeah, I'm imagining that's a show that CBS is going to conclude. Obviously, Young Sheldon is the Sheldon prequel TV show, but Big Bang Theory is the main show with all the main characters, and 12 seasons, really good stuff on there. That might again be on Amazon in the UK and the US. That's a CBS show, so it could be on there, could be on Hulu or somewhere. But that was aired on E4 in the UK, but I don't think they've got they do reruns, so if you tune in at a certain time for reruns, they do those. But if you want to watch it in order, because there is an actual story there, then I'd recommend that. And the 20th show I'd recommend is Peep Show. Again, could be a BritBox US TV show, not 100% sure, but all of the box sets for those, I think there's 8 seasons, 9 seasons, can't quite remember, but it did come back for like a final season as well when finished. It almost finished twice, but yeah, the final season ends things really well as well. But yeah, Peep Show is great on All 4. Again, that's free and could and should be on BritBox, really. I don't know what's on BritBox, to be completely honest, and I'm not going to subscribe to it because I don't feel the need to. But yeah, that is 20 TV shows that are either ending or have already finished. Some of them you might not agree with, some of them you might not have heard of, and other things like that. So, yeah, I mean, things like Breaking Bad, most people have heard of. Things like Lost, you know, those sorts of things people have heard of before. A couple of TV shows that I missed. I feel like people would... now, this isn't me leaving off the list because people would have a go at me for recommending what they would consider a bad TV show. That's why I didn't include, like, Game of Thrones on this list. Excellent TV show in my opinion, but lots of people weren't happy with how it ended, so I thought I'd leave that one off of there. But that's obviously another one that's recently finished. But I don't know, it's awkward when you talk about Game of Thrones these days, isn't it? A bit like with Star Wars, because they're apparently always terrible or whatever. So there's that. 24, obviously my favourite show, hasn't ended really. Like, it could come back for another season. In my opinion, the ending that we got in Live Another Day isn't really a proper ending. I'd still highly recommend the show, but I wouldn't want to say like, oh, it's finished, and then you get in my opinion, the cliffhanger at the end of Live Another Day, and you go, well, Matt, why did you recommend that to me? It ended on a cliffhanger. So I'd recommend that as well, but it hasn't properly finished per se. You could take an ending, I suppose, away from what they do at the end of 24. Obviously, I'm not going to spoil it still, but yeah. Not sure about that. 24 Legacy, which some people might go, oh, why are you recommending that? Did get cancelled, but had a relatively decent ending. So if you want other 24 stuff, I suppose there's that as well. Things like Homeland is on its final season, but I think some of the recent seasons have been poor, to be honest, and we don't know how it ends yet. But that's one that I thought I'd like leave off of the list per se, but not quite fully recommend. And one show I want to say this as well. I think this is the last show that I can think of. Runaways. I recently finished the final season of The Runaways. I am happy with the ending, but the journey wasn't great, and the final season I don't think was very good. So just in terms of an entertainment thing, episode to episode, the first 2 seasons are fairly good, but I felt like the 3rd season was a bit of a mess in certain places. So if you still want a TV show that's finished and finishes well, which I still think The Runaways does finish well, I'd recommend it on that, but not in terms of an actual on its journey quality. I can't recommend the show on that sort of level, but those are some other shows as well. So that's in total, like 28 or something shows. I lost count after I finished the actual list that I'd written down. So yeah, hopefully you'll are staying safe and everything. And again, like I said, before the coronavirus even came around, I thought of doing something like this, just never quite got around to it because obviously we're busy with other podcasts. But yeah, we have a little bit of a lighter week. There's no films coming out soon. There is The Hunt, which I want to go and see, which is out, but yeah, there's no football stuff, so it just gave me that little bit more time to do this podcast as well. So yeah, if you have any recommendations for people that you'd like to add, of course, Matthew at entertainmenttalk.org, Twitter eTalkUK, there's a contact page and information in your show notes, and you can recommend some of those things as well. If you want to recommend, like, off of the post that I'm going to do for this, I guess you should reply to the tweet or the Facebook post that I'm going to make when this gets posted and when I obviously re-promote it and stuff. So yeah, that's a bunch of shows. So basically, if you're in the US, BritBox should have some of those UK TV shows, at least some of them. I think it should have. Otherwise, what is even the point of it? Why would you call it a BritBox if it doesn't have enough box sets on it? But anyway, Netflix for some of them. Amazon have a lot of the box sets, both UK and US that I've seen. Again, for the US side of things, I'm not 100% sure because of course I don't live there and I don't have those services, but they should be on some of those services that I discussed. So yeah, stay safe, keep yourself safe, enjoy these TV shows. Of course, if you want to talk to me about these different TV shows, you're more than welcome to do so. If you think they're bad recommendations, good recommendations, if you have other ones, feel absolutely free to get involved. And there we go. So yeah, off the top of my head, there's no other shows. I mean, that's 20 TV shows. Like, that's quite a few box sets. To be honest, obviously with things like Arrow, there is the other Arrowverse shows which will probably all finish, but none of them have apart from Arrow yet. So if you like Arrow and you want to get into The Flash or whatever, or Batwoman or Black Lightning or whatever, obviously you can feel free to do that. But yeah, that's the one from those little sections, or those that little Arrowverse that has actually finished. So cool. You can of course find everything that we've got if you want to keep yourself busy podcast wise. We've got just dozens of podcasts you can listen to, both spoiler free and spoilers. Obviously I give you warnings for different spoiler things, for different reviews and that, so don't feel afraid. Of course, if you want to ask me about spoilers for specific podcasts, I can probably tell you if I gave spoilers or where or whatnot. So yeah, don't hesitate to ask any questions about anything. I'm more than happy to answer them, as long as yeah, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, you can find all the content that we've got on entertainmenttalk.org and of course on podcast services. Just a shout out for Geektown as well, if you want to listen to Geektown Radio weekly, because of course we don't know how long this thing's going to last. Geektown Radio on Tuesdays on podcast services. Just so you don't need to search for Geektown Radio, just search for Geektown. I'm sure you'll find it. On podcast services, you can also of course go to geektown.co.uk, and if you somehow run out of TV shows, which I've seen a lot of people getting panicked about, like, oh, all this production on TV shows are stopping and we're going to run out. Me personally, I don't think I'm going to run out of TV shows to watch. Plus we're covering like 3 big shows at the moment for the next 5 weeks or so, or whatever. Because Walking Dead and Better Call Saul and Westworld. Obviously Westworld's just started this week, so that's like 8 weeks of podcasts. But yeah, if you want to know basically if, when and where some of those shows are going to be coming back and your latest TV and film news, David has got you covered on geektown.co.uk and Geektown Radio. So just search for Geektown, search for Entertainment Talk, and get yourselves informed and subscribed and all that sort of thing. Of course, if you want to support the podcast and support Entertainment Talk, we're on Patreon. Please check out the $1 and $3 level tiers. That's for review options and ad-free podcast options. What's the other thing? Amazon affiliate link, of course. If you're still buying stuff on Amazon, you can use our affiliate link. We can get a small cut of what you spend. It won't cost you extra. iTunes feeds, like I said, please rate, review and subscribe to those. Make sure you get subscribed so that you get sent new episodes. Word of mouth, please tell your friends, family, people that you know about the website and the iTunes feeds. Social media, please share them on Twitter and Facebook, and if you're allowed to, put them in different Facebook groups. And lastly, video games. If you want to watch us play different video games, me and David stream on Twitch, Robert streams on Mixer, and look out for Let's Play Sundays. I just scheduled a bunch more Let's Play Sundays episodes, so look out for those as well. Thanks for listening. Stay safe. Have fun. As much fun as you can have, which is important. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.